grinds. The difference between a dual express and this one that's over here, which looks very, very similar to a dual express, this is not an impact grinder, which means when this stone contacts the reel, it doesn't bounce. A dual express has heavy-duty springs on it. When it strikes the blade, it bounces. And that bouncing that takes place rolls the blade and the stone across the reel blade, and it's supposed to put between a 1 degree and a 2 degree relief. So even though it's considered a spin grinder, they claim that it does put a 1 to 2 degree relief, which is good because you really need some sort of relief. The problem that I see with that is 1 or 2 degrees wears out pretty fast. So if you own that and you believe in that philosophy, if you don't spin grind on a very regular basis, which would be if you're working with anything abrasive, a lot of sand or anything, it'd be once a week or every 2 weeks. If you wait 1 month to spin grind it again, that 1 or 2 degree relief will be gone, which means you're dragging the entire width of that blade across the bed knife. And people that follow that philosophy do it for 2 reasons. One, they want speed. They want to put it in here and grind it fast, which it does. But the thing is, you need to do it on a regular basis. What they're looking at is quality of cut, and they base their decision on when to spin it again on quality of cut. And I can get a really good quality of cut with a flat grind, which means there's no relief in that blade. And so the problem is, if I have a flat grind, even if I have a square edge and I have a sharp bed knife, if I have a flat grind, I'm still dragging the entire width of the blade across the bed knife. And when you drag that distance across, it takes horsepower. It takes extra force from your hydraulic motor. It's going to take more horsepower or more force from your hydraulic motors. And so your pumps, your motors, your whole hydraulic system has to work harder. It's going to wear out faster. It's going to generate more heat because it's working faster and harder, which means your seals are going to get hard faster, which means you're going to generate leaks sooner. It's going to take more pressure to get more energy to open it up, so you have more pressure on your hoses. Your hoses are going to fail sooner. Your engine takes more horsepower to run it, which means it takes more fuel. Overall maintenance budget is going to go up because you're using more fuel to do the same work. Your engine's working harder, it's going to wear out sooner. And so the whole thing kind of rolls downhill. If you're only focused on quality of cut, if I have 2 square edges, it's going to cut the grass and look good. If you're looking at the overall picture, you need a relief grind to get the metal away so I have less material dragging across the bed knife. And it will take less horsepower to do that. So that's the problem that I see with a dual. If you don't use it on a weekly to double 2 weeks period of time, if you don't continuously spin grind it, put that 1 degree in there, it won't take any time to get rid of it. It'll wear out. And then I'm dragging the whole width of that blade. So even if I have a dual, I can go and I can put a relief in there. They have a special attachment that will put a relief, and then I'm going to use the spin grind instead of backlapping to get my square edge in the front again. That's fine. It's just something you need to consider and pay attention to.
What's this, a 2 or 1?
This back part here is the relief grind that I'm talking about, and this is a flat grind, the land on the top. So this has a relief and then a flat grind. This land area is wider than I would like to see. It's twice as wide as I want to see. If I just ground this, which they just did, this is twice as wide as it should be. And the spec in the tech manual says it's twice as wide as it should be. So we need to go back and actually relief grind this more. And we'll show you how to check all that and measure that. This machine here, right now, it has an option where I can add a second bar in here and I can relief grind with it. For us, it's too expensive. And so what I do is I relief grind with one of these old ones. I throw it on here and I spin grind with it. And so the option, there is a mechanical option that relief grinds. But they're fast. The Dual Express is fast. I can take a reel off the floor, put it on a Dual Express, set it up and grind it and put it back on the floor in 5 minutes. What people look at is they say, well, if I can do that in 5 minutes, why would I backlap? I can backlap an entire machine, which is 5 reels, in 10 minutes. if it needs some serious backlapping, I can do it in 10 minutes. But in 10 minutes I did 5 reels versus 5 minutes per reel times 5, that's 25 minutes if I'm hustling and I really know what I'm doing. I still, no matter which ones I do, I still got to set reel to bed knife and check that kind of stuff. But it's not really necessarily faster. It's only faster if I let my reel get so worn out and so dull that it takes more than 10 minutes of backlapping to get it back to a square edge. And that means you're not doing the job with the backlapping. You've been prolonging it too far, and that's the only reason it's going to take longer.